Hi Joshua, thank you so much for joining me on Publisher's Chair for our in-person interview.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's great to have you here. So I wanted to start off by asking you, what has motivated you to build your career in the publishing industry, and what motivates you to stay?
So I got my start in publishing 25 years ago as an ebook developer. It was mostly because I love books and I knew ebooks, and so I got involved in that space. It was really fun, and started out my career doing that, and developed a team of people to work with on that, and then got acquired by Firebrand a long time ago, 11 years ago or something. And I love working for Firebrand. Love working with publishers. For me, the thing that keeps me here is helping publishers unlock potential. Right? If you can as a publisher grab onto something new, grab onto a better marketing or better data, it makes a huge difference in sales. And publishers need someone who can direct, who can help, who can advise, and that's what we try to do. That's what I try to do, is just be a resource to publishers to help them understand how to make better data decisions, how to make better marketing decisions. What do you do? What do you need to do to advance the sale of your book?
Over the past few years, what have been the biggest changes you've seen within the publishing industry?
I think a big change, of course, has been audiobooks. Publishers that are doing audiobook sales have seen massive increases in sales, and the visibility and the desirability of audiobooks. It's kind of interesting because back in the day when ebooks were really big and everybody's like, oh, ebooks are the new thing, it's going to come, everybody's going to sell all their books as ebooks, and it's going to be 95% of sales will be ebooks. We've seen a resurgence of other types of formats that ebooks never had. So I love the fact that audiobooks are really big. Another big change is print, how print sales have changed. A lot of publishers now are starting to spend more money on hardcover books and even bespoke, really nice editions and things like that. So I think that's a really interesting movement where we're thinking of the book as an object, as a collectible in some ways even, and keeping that value of the printed word it's forefront. So those are big changes. Data is always a big change. How is data going to impact a publisher's ability to sell a book? How is data impacting the decision-making process? Even all the way back to the acquisition level. How do you take the data that you have, and there's so much out there, how do you take that data and use it in a way that's actually beneficial to you as a company?
Looking back on your career, what would you say is the most valuable piece of advice that you've gained that you would like to share with other people in the industry?
I think having a baby steps approach is probably the most important thing. And this kind of relates to the last question in some ways, but we tend to think of problems as being large, big problems. I've got this big issue. But if you can break things down into smaller pieces, it can make a huge impact on how you feel about it, which can make a big impact on how you address it as well. But breaking things down into smaller pieces makes a huge difference. And I think that's the case whether you're talking about data problems, or you're talking about marketing, you're talking about sales, you're talking about the whole process of publishing, the workflow management. A lot of times we are so busy and we see the big problem and we push the big problem further away. We're like, I'll deal with that later. But if we can just break it down into smaller pieces and spend a little bit of time on the smaller pieces, it can make a huge impact. And I found that from my own personal life as well. It's not just about work and about publishing and about the things I do, but even in my everyday life, trying to break down my concerns or my frustrations and break them down into small pieces and try to address it in a small way. That daily practice can help make a huge impact on being able to reach your goal.
That's really amazing to hear. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for the invitation.
This is amazing.
Yeah.